Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bottom Bins podcast on the Parlay Sports app. I'm joined with Mr. Dorman, of course, and we're going to talk about Mason Mount signing for Manchester United. Their first summer transfer confirmed, £55 million plus £5 million in add-ons for arguably Chelsea's best player. However, we have to be honest, on the Bottom Bins podcast this year, we have criticised Mason Mount quite heavily. Connor, what's your initial thoughts on the deal?
Just happy to get a player in because it's not always a guarantee at Man United. But yeah, we've given him a bit of abuse, especially me and Richie. I don't think you've been as bad, Oran, to be fair. But yeah, he is an upgrade in the position. You know, he's won Chelsea Player of the Year twice. I would agree he is one of Chelsea's best players. Chelsea, obviously, the last 18 months have been a disaster. But when they won the Champions League, he was one of the main men, and in the Premier League that season he had 11 goals, 10 assists. Really, really good season. If we get that kind of player who brings a lot of energy to the team, you know, defensive work rate and also creative, can score a goal, I think it will be good business. I spoke about it on the podcast as well. I thought, you know, United could have got him maybe for a bit cheaper. A player that wanted to come to United and was in the last year of his contract. I think 55 million is a bit steep, especially because we have a limited budget. There's talk only 120 million unless we sell players. But a player that we needed, a position we needed, and I think we've seen that towards the end of the season with Eriksen. But yeah, happy enough. How are you feeling about it?
Well, look, as you say, it's not a transfer I expected, to be honest. Whenever it was first announced that we were interested, I was like, oh, please, God, no. However, as I said in the podcast, I plug to the podcast, by the way, go and check it out on both Spotify and YouTube, and listen to our full discussion on all of the summer transfers the last 2 weeks. But as I said then, you know, I trust my manager for the first time in a long, long while, and he was his priority target in midfield. We know he went for Frankie de Jong last year. It didn't work, but this year he's got his number one target in midfield. So personally, I didn't think I would be excited by the transfer, but even seeing the way Erik ten Hag has interacted with him in the first few interviews and stuff, and even how Mount himself has interacted with fans and stuff, I like to see that from players. He walked out onto Old Trafford and he immediately got goosebumps. He wanted to get the boots on and go and play, and I love that because he wants to go and play for Manchester United. And as you say, it's an upgrade. It's an upgrade in a position that we desperately needed. Eriksen filled the role brilliantly last year. However, we did see him out on his feet last year. I think whenever we signed Eriksen, we didn't necessarily expect him to start in every game anyway. So it's good to have that. But we know more signings are needed. But based on Mason Mount, Dorman, 55 million, you talked about the transfer fee. And yes, it's a lot of money. What do you think? Do you think this big transfer fee, coupled with the huge responsibility of him being given the number 7 jersey at Manchester United, he has to perform, doesn't he?
Oh, definitely, and he has to hit the ground running straight away for me because he's played in the Premier League before. He's obviously got the number 7 jersey, which a lot of people didn't think he would get. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect it either. I was shocked to see he got it, but Ten Hag believes in him. As you said, I trust my manager. The thing that is exciting me about United is a lot of players are looking to go to us. I know that is a given because we're one of the biggest clubs in the world, but I think it's due to Ten Hag's project, and a lot of players are excited by it. And I can see Mason Mount succeeding. I'm hoping, and I'll eat all the crow, as I say, if he succeeds, because I have slagged him for months and months and months. But I said it on the podcast, another plug to the podcast, that he was in a bad situation at Chelsea. When they were going well, he was really, really good under Tuchel. But once Tuchel went and they kept changing the managers, Potter, you know, and then now they've got Poch in, it's just been a disaster. So a new surrounding at United, and I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird considering the stick we have given him all year that we're actually excited about him coming to United.
But that's what I was going to ask you as well, is do you think the number 7 jersey, do you think he'll deliver under that pressure?
He has to. To be fair, like, this is a player who's coming from Chelsea. Since his first start in the Premier League for Chelsea, most goals, most assists, most minutes, most appearances, most chances created. You know, I do fully feel, especially on paper, we've got Chelsea's best player. Much like I felt to see him whenever we signed Juan Mata all those years ago. This is a player who's also won their Player of the Year twice in a row as well. So I think it's a huge statement from Mason Mount because he had Liverpool interested, he had Arsenal interested, and we've seen, especially the Arsenal project this year, there's players who want to go to Arsenal. Yeah. And especially with Jurgen Klopp, look, he's in a rebuild phase, but we do feel that Liverpool will be challenging for the title once again next year. So they're two good projects, and he's decided to come to Manchester United. So I think any player, despite the criticism that we may have given him or anybody's given him, if they fully show a desire to come to Manchester United, I'm happy to have them here.
Yeah, definitely. I'll back him all the way because, as you said, he wanted to come to United, which is an exciting. We're getting back to where we were in a way, and we'll have Champions League football again next year, and hopefully we can make a few more signings and have a good season next year.
Definitely. Well, final verdict, just before we go, our final verdict on Mason Mount. Do you think, I know you've kind of alluded to it already, do you think Mason Mount overall will be a success at Manchester United?
I'm going to be optimistic. I think he will be a success at United.
You heard it here first, folks. The bottom bins thinks that Mason Mount will be a success at Manchester United. Cheers for hopping on, Conor.
No bother. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. In a bit, boys. See you later.